Have you ever wished you could just not get bothered by things? You know, to have this, like, emotional immunity to insults, to frustrations, to all the annoying stuff people do? Well, guess what? It turns out you actually can. You can literally become the architect of your own emotional state. Okay, let's dive into how that's even possible.
I want you to just sit with that for a second. Read it again. This idea completely flips our entire understanding of anger right on its head. It suggests the power isn't out there with other people, it's right here, inside our own minds. And that one idea, that is the key to unlocking everything we're about to talk about.
So, to really get a handle on this, we first need to kind of deconstruct what we think anger is. We have to look past this illusion that it's just some automatic, uncontrollable reaction that happens to us.
Now, the science behind this whole thing is absolutely fascinating. It's a theory called predictive processing. Here's the deal. Your brain is basically a prediction machine. All day, every day, it's guessing what's going to happen next. So, when someone cuts you off in traffic, your brain had a prediction of a nice, smooth drive. That flash of anger, that's the error signal. It's the feeling of the gap between your prediction and what actually happened.
And this part is so important. We're not talking about becoming some emotionless robot here. The goal isn't to just bottle things up or pretend you don't feel anything. No, it's about becoming a detective of your own mind, really understanding why a feeling is showing up in the first place. That awareness, right there, is where all your power is.
So how do we actually put this into practice? Let's get into our very first technique. This is a really powerful way to reframe those frustrating interactions. We're going to call it the mirror.
I want you to think about the last person who really got under your skin. Got him? Okay, now ask yourself this question. What if their behavior wasn't really about them at all? What if they were just holding up a mirror to something inside of you? This is the core of the mirror theory. You know that disorganized coworker that drives you crazy? Maybe they trigger you because you're terrified of your own chaotic side. Or that person who seems way too confident. Maybe they irritate you because they're poking at your own insecurities about your self-worth. So here's the kicker. The frustration you feel is so often a frustration with a part of yourself that you haven't quite made peace with.
Okay, so the mirror is an awesome tool for reflection, after something happens. But what about when you're right in the heat of the moment? For that, we've got our second technique. And this one is a simple but kind of profound physiological hack.
To get how this works, we need a super quick look at the brain. When you get triggered, your amygdala, that's your emotional, reactive, hot system, it completely hijacks your brain. Our goal is to shift the energy away from that and over to the cortex, the logical, observing, cool system. And the way we do it is, well, it's surprisingly simple.
It's called effect labeling. Just 2 steps. That's it. First, just notice what's happening in your body. Don't get into the story of who's wrong or right, just the physical feeling. Second step, name it. Say it out loud if you can.
And it can be as simple as saying, my jaw is tight, or my chest feels hot, my breathing is getting shallow. Just the act of noticing and naming that physical effect literally pulls your brain's energy out of that reactive amygdala and shoves it into the observant cortex. It's like a circuit breaker for your anger.
All right, let's get to our third and final technique. This one might be the most powerful of all because it requires a complete shift in your goal for any difficult interaction. This is all about becoming the observer.
Here is the core command, the whole foundation of this technique. Stop trying to win. Just think about it for a second. Most of our frustration in an argument comes from that deep, primal need to be right? The observer technique asks you to just let that go. Drop that goal completely.
So instead of being a participant in a battle, you become a scientist. Your whole mindset shifts. You start viewing the person in front of you as a fascinating, if maybe a little frustrating, case study of human behavior. You're not in the fight anymore. You're in the lab, just taking notes.
So your objective changes completely. You're not trying to score points anymore. Your new goal is just to understand. You start asking yourself, why are they acting this way? What kind of belief system would lead to this behavior? Your goal becomes curiosity. And here's the magic. Curiosity is an emotion that simply cannot coexist with anger.
So there we have it. We have our tools, we've taken apart the anger illusion, and we've learned 3 really powerful techniques to manage it. Let's pull this all together and see how you can start building your emotional immunity. So here it is, your new emotional toolkit, all in one place.
You've got the mirror, which is for your internal world, to build that self-awareness. You've got effect labeling, your in-the-moment physical tool for de-escalation, and you've got the observer, the game-changing perspective shift that gives you detachment.
And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. This entire approach is built on a foundation of personal responsibility. It moves you from being a passive victim of your feelings to being the active source of them. You're the one in the driver's seat.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. If your emotional state isn't just some automatic reaction to what other people do, if it's actually something that comes from within you, based on your own predictions and your own perspectives, what will you choose to create today?